The Mainstays 5-shelf bookcase is the ideal solution for both storage and displaying your treasured collections. With 3 fully adjustable shelves, this bookcase features a contemporary style that blends into the decor of many homes. Assembly typically takes an hour, and all you'll need is a Phillips head screwdriver and hammer. We recommend working on a protected surface, such as a carpet or cardboard, to prevent scratching. Don't use power tools, as this can damage the unit. And don't move the unit until it is fully assembled. Now let's get started. Lay out Part C with the unfinished side facing up. The cam bolts have a large outer ring to indicate when to stop screwing. Take 4 cam bolts and screw them into the 4 holes in the middle. Lay out one of the 2 Part B2s with the holes facing up. The cam locks have an arrow that should be pointed in the same direction as the hole on the side of the shelf. This is the unlocked position. Press 4 cam locks into these 4 holes. Line up one of the holes on the safety strap with a small hole on the middle of the shelf. Attach the strap using a washer and the small screw. Lay out Part E2 next to the second Part B2 with the holes facing up. Starting with Part B2, press 4 cam locks into these 4 holes. Using your hammer, gently tap 3 compression dowels into the 3 holes on Part E2. The compression dowels should be roughly halfway into each hole. Finally, connect parts E2 and B2. Make sure the unfinished side faces into the shelf. Lay out both Part A1s with the holes facing up and the finished edges facing inward. Screw 2 cam bolts into the holes at the end of the first panel and repeat these actions for the other panel. Lay out parts G1 and F1 with the holes facing up and the finished edges facing inward. Screw 2 cam bolts into the holes at the end of F1. Then screw 2 more into the holes at the opposite end of G1. Press 2 cam locks into the holes at the end of F1. Then press 2 more into the holes at the opposite end of G1. You'll need a helper for the next step to ensure stability. Stand the top shelf on its side, with the unfinished edge facing up and the finished surface facing in. Stand one of the A1 panels on its side with the unfinished edge facing up. Insert the 2 cam bolts into the holes of B2, which are located underneath the cam locks. Using a screwdriver, turn the cam lock approximately halfway clockwise until you feel resistance. The cam is now locked. Repeat with the other cam lock. Stand the second A1 panel on its side with the unfinished edge facing up. Insert the 2 cam bolts into the holes of B2 and lock the cams in place. Finally, place Part C at the opposite end with the unfinished edge facing up and the cam bolts facing outward. Attach Part C using 1 3/4 flathead screws into these 4 holes. Stand Part G1 on its side with the unfinished edge facing up. Slide the cam locks into the cam bolts on Part C. Lock the cams by screwing the locks clockwise until you feel resistance. Stand the other Part B2 on its side with the unfinished edge facing up. Slide the cam locks into the cam bolts on Part G1 and lock in place. Stand Part F1 on its side with the unfinished edge facing up. Slide the cam locks into the cam bolts on Part C and Part B2. Lock all 4 cams. Place Part I over the top half assembly and line up the top and side edges. Using the notches as a guide, hammer 22 nails along the edges, 4 at the top and 9 along each side. Place Part J over the bottom half assembly and line up the bottom and side edges. There should be overlap with Part I. Continue using the notches to hammer 18 nails along the edges, 3 along the top and bottom, and 9 along each side. Lightly hammer floor protectors into F1 and G1, approximately ½ inch from the edge. Stand the bookcase up against the wall of its intended location. If relocating, the bookshelf must be lifted, not pushed or pulled. Insert 4 shelf supports at your preferred height and slide the shelf onto the support. Repeat for the other 2 shelves. Attach safety strap to wall. See assembly instructions for details. Congratulations! Your Mainstays 5-shelf bookcase is fully assembled and ready to use.